Shedeur Sanders might be heading to Cincinnati. And for Browns fans, that's not just a transfer, it's an act of war. Let's be clear. Shedeur hasn't taken a single snap in the NFL yet, but his influence? Already seismic. This isn't just about a quarterback trade. This is about hope. And when hope starts flirting with your biggest enemy, well, let's just say the emotional infrastructure collapses fast. You have to understand, Cleveland doesn't do casual quarterback talk.
If you're into the real story and all the messy twists they don't show on highlight reels, go ahead and subscribe. And if you're sticking around to see how this Browns QB chaos plays out, you should definitely be subscribed.
Every QB conversation in that city carries emotional baggage heavier than a Spirit Airlines carry-on. When you've been through the Brady-Quinn era, the Deshaun Kaiser fiasco, and everything in between, you start to treat quarterback prospects the way most people treat religion, blindly, passionately, and a little irrationally. So when the Sanders rumor broke, it wasn't just a headline, it was heartbreak. Browns fans went from dreaming about future franchise glory to Googling NFL betrayal trauma in under 10 minutes. And somewhere inside the Browns facility, reportedly, Dee Haslam was not taking it well. Allegedly, she heard the rumor and immediately demanded answers like a mom who just found out her teenager skipped school to go on a TikTok live stream. What do you mean he's talking to the Bengals? We just talked about this. He liked our post. And listen, if that's even half true, it tracks. Because Dee Haslam has been trying to stabilize this franchise since the day she walked into it. She's been executive equivalent of a therapist with a clipboard trying to convince a deeply traumatized football team that, no, this quarterback is going to be different. We can heal. We can win. And now the kid everyone's been watching, waiting for, projecting their dreams onto, might be heading straight down I-71 into the arms of their orange and black striped rivals. That's not just painful. That's existentially humiliating. Cincinnati, meanwhile, is playing it cool. Of course they are. Their front office is quiet. Their social media teams posting vibes-only content. And their fans? Oh, they're feasting. You got Bengals fans online making memes of Shedeur and tiger stripes, throwing bombs at Jamar Chase, while Browns fans are still in the bargaining phase of grief. Maybe it's just leverage. He probably doesn't even like Skyline chili. His dad said he wanted a city with character, and we have that, right? It's giving desperation. It's giving 3 a.m. text to your ex energy. It's giving we were supposed to be the main character. Vibes. But here's the raw, unfiltered truth. The Browns never had control in the first place. Because as soon as Burrow's injury became public knowledge, everyone should have known something was coming. The Bengals weren't about to sit back and roll the dice on a recovery timeline. This is a team that's been this close to a championship. Twice. They're not risking that window. And if they can get someone like Sanders to come in and learn, sit, or even compete, that's not a backup plan. That's a masterstroke. And let's talk about the optics for a second. Because optics in the NFL are currency. Shedeur Sanders is more than a quarterback. He's a brand. Nil deals. A massive social following. Prime time lineage. If you're a franchise looking to level up not just on the field, but across every PR channel, Shedeur is your golden ticket. The league knows it. His dad knows it. Fans definitely know it. And let's not pretend that Sanders choosing Cincinnati wouldn't send a message. He'd be bypassing the drama, dysfunction, and instability that's plagued Cleveland for years, and instead aligning himself with a team that's got a clear identity, a playoff-hardened roster, and a quarterback room run by one of the coolest QBs in the game, even if he's on IR right now. It's smart. It's strategic. And that's exactly why it hurts. Because Cleveland fans were once again caught hoping instead of planning. They were dreaming instead of preparing. And when the Bengals made their move, if they made their move, it shattered the illusion that this season was finally going to be normal. Now, let's zoom out for a second and talk psychological warfare. Because this is it. In the same way Tom Brady used to mentally destroy defenses before the snap, the Bengals just disrupted Cleveland's entire mental game without even touching the field. They let a rumor loose, and now they're watching their biggest division rival crumble from the inside. It's giving Sun Tzu. It's giving Machiavelli. It's giving Game of Thrones in cleats. And honestly, it's genius. Cleveland has now entered what experts call the spiral cycle. It starts with a rumor, then denial, then rage, then full team-wide panic. Right now, you got Browns execs scrambling to call agents, recheck scouting reports, and draft up emergency contingency plans. You've got Dee Haslam allegedly running meetings with the energy of a Real Housewives reunion special. You got fans calling for front office firings based on hypotheticals. And that's the power of one name, Shedeur Sanders. He's not just altering game plans. He's altering moods. He's made every AFC North game feel like it just got flex of prime time. Every coach is watching tape. Every GM is recalculating projections. Every social media in turn is sitting on 500 memes they can't post yet, but oh boy are they ready. And here's the kicker. All of this might still be smoke. Because in the NFL, nothing is real until it's on paper. Players flirt with franchises all the time. Teams use rumors to bait rivals into overpaying. Agents stir the pot to inflate market value. The entire system is built on narrative manipulation. And whether or not Shedeur Sanders ever actually puts on a Bengals jersey doesn't even matter anymore, because the damage is already done. The Browns have been psychologically rattled. Their fans have been emotionally gutted. And the Bengals? They've just elevated their narrative, stolen the offseason spotlight, and reminded the league that they're not here to play nice. They're here to dominate, on and off the field. And if Shedeur does go to Cincinnati, game over, literally and metaphorically. Because now you've got the league's most dangerous offense, potentially handing the keys to the most talked-about prospect in football. You got Deion Sanders at Bengals games, cameras rolling, social media exploding, and a franchise suddenly crowned with an unstoppable combination of talent and hype. And Cleveland? Well, they'll be left asking the same question they've been asking for 20 years. How do we screw this again? So here's your final thought. Whether this trade actually happens or not, the ripple effect is real. The fear is real. The narratives are shifting, and the AFC North just became the most unpredictable, volatile, and emotionally chaotic division in the league. And at the center of it all, one name, one player, one rumor, Shedeur Sanders. And you better believe the NFL will never be the same. Now it's your turn. Drop a comment below. Would Sanders thrive in Cincinnati, or should he dodge the AFC North mess entirely? Is Cleveland cursed, or just chronically unlucky? And who do you think is pulling the strings behind this chess match? Hit that subscribe button for more gridiron drama, executive meltdowns, and football chaos, because this story? Oh, it's just getting started. When we say Cleveland fans are spiraling, we don't mean mildly disappointed. We mean spiraling in the way a person does when their flight gets delayed, their phone dies, and they just found out their luggage went to Tampa, and they were headed to Chicago. It's frantic. It's irrational. It's a little bit feral. At this point, even Browns fans who weren't sold on Shedeur are suddenly acting like they were first in line at his metaphorical bandwagon concert. You got guys who were tweeting he's just hype a week ago now crying into their brown and orange throw blankets screaming, he was OURS. Why? Because that's how desperation works. When you think someone else is about to get the thing you might have wanted, that thing becomes sacred. It becomes a symbol. And right now, Shedeur Sanders is no longer just a quarterback. He's become Cleveland's unicorn, their forbidden fruit, their we were so close tragedy before he's even worn an NFL helmet. It's giving Greek tragedy meets SportsCenter. Now, let's zoom back on the woman at the center of the executive drama, Dee Haslam. You know it's bad when people start describing boardroom behavior with phrases like lost it and went full succession mode. Sources close to the organization, translation, probably somebody's cousin on Twitter, say Dee was furious that the Bengals even got close. Not because it's illegal, not because it violates some unwritten rule, but because, in her mind, this wasn't supposed to happen again. This was supposed to be Cleveland's moment. Finally, a clean slate, a season not defined by scandal or injuries or memes about quarterback turnover. Just football, just promise, just a straight path to relevance. And then, bam, rumor, speculation, panic, another missed opportunity looming over their heads like a fourth-quarter interception. It's deja vu with a vengeance. And again, the Bengals haven't even confirmed anything. That's the real kicker. There's no official press release, no jersey reveal, just silence. The kind of silence that burns. Because the silence means control. It means power. It means you're not reacting, you're watching. Letting the chaos unfold in real time while you sip your overpriced coffee in a glass-walled office and casually flip through trade options like you're ordering sushi. Meanwhile, Browns Nation is combusting on every platform known to man. Facebook groups have turned into digital support circles. Reddit is one step away from staging a virtual intervention. YouTube creators are live streaming reactions like it's election night. And TikTok? That's a whole other level of mess. Edits of Shedeur in slow motion to Bad Blood are stacking up like receipts at CVS. And still no official move. That's the beauty of the NFL rumor cycle. It doesn't matter if something's true. It only matters who believes it. And right now, Cleveland believes it. With their whole tortured, aching hearts. Now, let's talk about what this trade really represents. Because if you think this is just about a quarterback, you're missing the forest for the flaming trees. This is about franchise identity. Legacy. The terrifying idea that the narrative you spent years building could be shattered overnight by one wrong move, or one right move made by your rival. It's about ego, not just for the teams, but for the cities. Cleveland and Cincinnati are not just two teams. They are two mentalities, two styles of hope. One scrappy, bitterly determined, full of passion and pain. The other, quietly confident, steadily rising, now starting to look more like a threat than a punching bag. And the Browns, bless them, are not handling that shift well. Because deep down, Browns fans have always believed they'd get their moment. That after all the heartbreaking collapse and quarterback chaos, eventually the football gods will reward them for their patience. That someday, someone like Shedeur Sanders would choose them, would plant his flag in Cleveland and say, "Yeah, I'll be your guy. Let's build something." But now, that dream is slipping, maybe already gone, and it's not because Shedeur rejected them. It's because they never had a seat at the table in the first place. And that's a different kind of pain. It's one thing to lose. Cleveland fans can handle losing. They've trained for it. But to be irrelevant in the eyes of a star player, to not even be part of the conversation, that cuts deep. Especially when the guy they thought might be the chosen one is now, potentially, aligning with the enemy. So yes, the Haslams are scrambling. So yes, Dee is probably making phone calls like her legacy depends on it. Because maybe it does. This was her shot to change the Brown story. And now, it's becoming yet another cautionary tale about what happens when you let someone else write your ending. Let's not forget, this is the same team that watched Baker Mayfield flame out, Deshaun Watson derail the narrative, and a rotating cast of forgettable backups cycle through the depth chart like a bad dating app. And now Shedeur Sanders, the guy with the name, the brand, the buzz, might be going somewhere else to build a legacy from scratch. Of course the fans are losing it. They've been carrying the emotional weight of a franchise that never quite delivers for years. And now, just when it felt like they were ready to flip the script, the Bengals swoop in with a chess move that rewrites the entire season before it's even started. And here's the worst part. This division isn't waiting for Cleveland to catch up. Baltimore is locked in. Pittsburgh has their structure. Cincinnati? They're now being talked about as a team with not just a current star QB, but a potential next one. The Browns? They've got chaos. Again. And when the fans sense that their team isn't even in control of their own destiny anymore, that's when the real cracks start forming. So what's next? Well, one of two things happens. Either the Browns go into full redemption arc mode. They dig deep, rally the locker room, and somehow prove to everyone, and maybe even to themselves, that they don't need a Sanders to succeed, that they can develop a franchise guy, that they can win on their own terms. Or they collapse, slowly, messily, and publicly, one tweet at a time, one loss at a time, one missed opportunity at a time, until the fans turn, the front office scrambles, and the off-season becomes a full-blown reckoning. And here's the part that stings the most. Even if the Bengals don't land Shedeur Sanders, they've already won the moment. They've planted the seed, created the chaos. shattered the illusion that Cleveland had anything locked down. That kind of psychological victory, you can't measure on a stat sheet, but oh, does it echo? Because the game before the game is narrative. And right now, the Browns are playing catch-up in a league that never waits for the emotionally unprepared. So whether this trade actually happens or it fizzles into the land of what could have been, one thing's certain. Shedeur Sanders has already changed the AFC North without ever stepping onto an NFL field. And Cleveland? They're going to be feeling this one for a long time. Shedeur Sanders. Bengals. Joe Burrow's injured. Cincinnati is sniffing around. The quarterback carousel is spinning again in Cleveland, once again standing at the edge, empty-handed, watching the ride go by. That sound you heard? That wasn't a press conference. That was the collective Browns fan base face-planting into a table full of broken dreams and unsold Watson jerseys. And let's talk about why this specific rumor hurt so much. Because this wasn't just any quarterback. This was Shedeur Sanders. A Sanders, the closest thing to royalty the sport has seen in years. Born into greatness. Raised on highlights. Mentored by prime time himself. He's got the pocket presence, the arm talent, the media charisma, the nil empire, the whole thing. This guy isn't just a potential NFL star. He's an era-defining player. And somewhere in the swirling chaos of NFL trade whispers, Cleveland thought, just maybe, this could be their guy. Because what better way to silence the doubters? What better way to shake off the years of misfires and scandals and bad draft picks than to land a generational talent like Shedeur? It would be the beginning of a new Browns era. One that didn't involve hope turning into heartbreak before Halloween. But nope. Instead, Shedeur's name gets attached to Cincinnati. Cincinnati. The franchise that Cleveland fans used to mock, belittle, and casually dismiss like a little brother trying on dad's suit. Now they're the ones making bold, strategic moves while the Browns are left staring at a whiteboard full of half-finished plans and failed experiments. It's like watching your ex move on with someone hotter and more stable. And worse, you can't even throw shade because they're actually thriving. Meanwhile, the Browns' war room is reportedly in disarray. No one knows who leaked what. Agents are denying things. Anonymous insiders are not authorized to speak on the matter. And yet somehow, everyone knows exactly what's happening. Panic. Controlled boardroom-level panic. And let's be honest, this isn't just about a single trade. This is about the pattern. The way Cleveland always seems to get so close to relevance before slipping back into chaos. Look at the past decade. Every time there's momentum, something derails it. Josh Gordon had generational talent. Derailed. Baker Mayfield won a playoff game. Derailed. They sell the farm for Deshaun Watson. Nuclear derailment. Now the chance to snag Shedeur, or even just be in the running. Slipping through their fingers like lake effect snow. And across the division? Oh, it's all smug satisfaction. The Ravens don't even care. They're too busy polishing Lamar Jackson's MVP case and quietly building another 10-win season like it's a side hustle. The Steelers? They're just sipping Iron City beer, watching all this unfold like, damn, couldn't be us. But the Bengals? The Bengals are the ones pulling the strings now. Because make no mistake, this rumor wasn't an accident. Whether it came from the Bengals camp or someone aligned with Sanders' team, this got out for a reason. In the NFL, nothing leaks without purpose. It could be leverage. It could be a media play. It could be a real move in progress. But whatever it is, the impact is undeniable. Cincinnati now controls the conversation. They've disrupted their division rival without even setting foot on the field. That's not just a PR win. That's psychological warfare. They're not just building depth. They're building dominance. They're making sure that if Burrow misses time, or, let's be real, isn't the same when he returns, they've already got a next move lined up, and if that next move is Shedeur Sanders, we're talking dynasty mode unlocked. Because imagine it, Shedeur learning behind Burrow, developing quietly, then, when a moment comes, stepping into a system that's already firing on all cylinders. That's terrifying. That's legacy-level planning. And for Cleveland, that's a nightmare scenario. Because if that happens, if Shedeur actually ends up in Cincinnati, then the Browns are officially out of excuses. No more we're rebuilding. No more give it time. No more, it's just bad luck. No, at that point, they've been outplanned, outmaneuvered, and outfinessed by a team they used to laugh at. So where do we go from here? Well, Browns fans are in a classic 5 stages of sports grief. Denial. No way he'd choose Cincinnati. He knows we're a real football city. Anger. Front office clowns couldn't negotiate a lemonade stand deal. Bargaining. What if we trade 2 firsts and give them Watson's contract? Depression. Why do I even do this to myself every year? Acceptance. Okay, fine. Maybe it's better we didn't get him, maybe. And the Bengals? They're doing what all successful franchises do in this new NFL. Keeping it quiet, calculated, and cold-blooded. No leaks. No drama. No chaos. Just vibes. And wins. Meanwhile, Shedeur and Dion are probably somewhere in Colorado, watching all of this like a reality show they accidentally created. You know Primetime is loving it. This is his brand. The headlines. The hype. The suspense. The drama. He didn't just raise a football player. He raised a storyline. And Shedeur? He's already winning. Before his NFL career has even started. Because now he knows his name holds power. The mere suggestion of a trade has shifted front office strategy, broken fanbase morale, and reshaped division dynamics. That's the kind of leverage that doesn't show up in combined stats. So, maybe he goes to the Bengals. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe this was just a smoke bomb to rattle a few cages. But either way, Shedeur Sanders just walked into the NFL without even stepping onto the field, and he's already caused a meltdown that could echo for seasons. That's not hype. That's impact. And for Cleveland, this might be the moment they finally admit that being close isn't good enough. That rumors matter. That optics matter. That narrative matters. Because in a league where perception drives headlines, and headlines shape pressure, and pressure makes or breaks teams, you either control the story, or you become it. So what do you think? Was this just a brilliantly executed smokescreen by Cincinnati? Or is the league about to witness the rise of Sanders 2.0 in the AFC North? Is Cleveland spiraling over nothing? Or are their worst fears coming true? Drop your theories, conspiracies, and emotional breakdowns in the comments below. Hit that subscribe button for more football chaos, executive meltdowns, and NFL storylines that feel ripped from a streaming drama. We're just getting started.